And welcome to the Kia Oval for the final meeting between England and Australia in this summer's Ashes series. Australia looking for a 5-0 sweep. Obviously they already have the urn. England looking for just one win to avoid complete humiliation. Australia calling heads, they win the toss, and their choice will be to bat. So it'll be Chris Wokes, the first bowler for England, going up against Warner and Finch, as it has been many, many times this summer. We're underway once again, and a single on the first ball for David Warner will bring Finch on strike as the fifth match of our Ashes Tribute Series has begun here at the Oval, corresponding with the actual tests taking place in real life. Of course, England rained out of the Ashes, the real ones. I apologize if I break the fourth wall a bit here. Australia here, as I mentioned, looking for a 5-0 sweep. Here's the next delivery from Wokes. And it goes for another single, which will bring Warner back on strike. An abysmal performance by England in the last match. I believe at one point they were 3 for 9. And of course, in a 5-over match, you only get 5 wickets. Yet for some reason, there are 11 players on the team. But it's a bit like rugby sevens, or the cricket equivalent of rugby sevens, whatever that may be. And Finch for a single. One delivery remaining in this over. An amazing start for Australia, but perhaps a psychological advantage for England in the fact that they'll be chasing this afternoon. Although Warner sent this one to the boundary for 10, or for 4, for a total of 10. Australia none for 10 at the end of the first over. And Moeen Ali coming in as the next bowler for England, the spin bowler. This will go for 1. I believe Australia scored at least 1 run on every ball bowled so far, but there have only been 7 balls yet. Oh, that might be a leg. That might be a leg, and indeed it is. And that's going to be the first wicket taken here by England. Moeen Ali coming in, and they're going to review it here. Original decision out. Pitching line. Impact in line. Wickets hitting. So I believe that the decision stands. And that's still going to be wicket number 1 for Australia, and the end of David Warner's time in the crease this afternoon. He'll be replaced by Mitch Marsh, the right-hand batsman, and Marsh will be on strike right away here. As the next delivery comes in from Moeen Ali, he certainly wound that one up, but doesn't go very far, only a single, as it goes back to the bowler and puts Finch on strike once again. Second half of the over beginning, and this will be driven all the way to the boundary. That's 4 for the visiting team in this final Ashes clash. That one almost went wide, but Finch connects nonetheless. Prevents an extra ball in this over, and the final delivery of the over coming now from Ali. Oh, what a hit! What a hit! That's not going to be caught, at least not by anyone on the field. And Adil Rashid coming in as the second over comes to its close. Australia 1 for 22. And 2 spin bowlers in a row here for the English. This goes right to Owen Morgan. And this is the last of cricket you will see on the Beagle Sports Network for quite some time. Marsh sends this one for 4. We will be covering, however, the Cricket World Cup later this fall in India. And we will reveal the schedule of matches at the end of today's coverage. Once all of this is over, we'll reveal exactly which matches we will be covering. Because it won't be all of them. I think it's about 12 out of 48 total matches that'll be played in the tournament. And of course, our coverage will fall under the 5-over format then, as it does here today. That goes for 4. Mitch Marsh currently 9 runs from 5 balls. Steps forward on this one, and it's gone past the fielder. He's going to catch up with it. But it's still going to be 2 for Australia. It's 1 for 32 at the moment, as the final delivery of the over comes in. And an amazing day so far here for the visiting side, but that might be another one. And indeed it is. That's LBW number 2 this afternoon. Will be review number 2. Doesn't look like it. And Mitch Marsh steps away from the crease. In his place comes Glenn Maxwell. Chris Jordan, the new bowler for England. Australia 2 for 32 at the end of the 3rd over. 12 balls remaining for the visiting side. This is caught, but he stays in the crease. And for a moment I thought that was wicket number 3. But Finch indeed is safe, as they might say in baseball. Speaking of which, we'll have the Philadelphia Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow night, live from PNC Park. If there's anyone watching this who's a baseball fan in addition to being a cricket fan. Thursday night baseball coverage continuing here on the network. As the next delivery comes in from Chris Jordan. Just going to be a single here. And Australia continuing to expand their total. But as I said earlier, perhaps it's a psychological advantage for England to be chasing this afternoon, knowing exactly what they need to win, to avoid that complete humiliation of a 5-0 sweep in the most prestigious series in all of cricket. And it has been since 1882. So much history here, ladies and gentlemen. Final delivery of over number 4 coming in here from Chris Jordan. Caught by the keeper. Finch stays behind the crease. Australia 2 for 34. Tymel Mills coming in. The last bowler for England. Projected total at the current run rate, 43 for Australia, 45 at 11, 47 at 13. This will be a 6. And Australia have 40 now. And perhaps the start of a trend, the start of a streak for Maxwell. Let's see on the next delivery. Oh! Never mind. The exact opposite. And Glenn Maxwell bowled by Tymel Mills to bring on Steve Smith. Quite a contrast there between those two deliveries, obviously. First a 6, then a wicket. This, however, will go right to the keeper, and it's called wide. First wide delivery of the day, as a matter of fact. And has he done it again? Yes, he has. That is 2 wides in a row from Tymel Mills. 1 wicket taken, 8 runs conceded. And Smith connects, sends it to the boundary for 4. Australia now 3 for 46. with 3 deliveries remaining. Oh, bowled him again! Steve Smith, gone. Tyval Mills takes 2 wickets in 1 over. Marcus Stoinis coming in. Australia 4 for 46. Stoinis connects on the first ball. He sends it to the boundary. Australia 4 for 50. And if not for that wicket, perhaps a reminder of the great Shane Ward, number 350. That's a swing and a miss, and that is the end of the innings for Australia. They finish 4 for 50. And England coming up here in a matter of moments as we take a look at the scorecards here. Finch and Stoinis staying not out. An amazing day here for Tyval Mills with 2 wickets taken. 1 taken by Ali, 1 taken by Adil Rashid. And now England come in at the Oval, one of the most prestigious cricket grounds in England, along with Lord's, of course. 51 from 30 needed for the 2019 One-Day International World Champions, the 2022 T20 World Champions, both in our universe and in the real one. And this is going to be close, but it's going to be 2. Good start for England, and a good start for Jason Roy, who starts on strike today, as he has time and time again. And as I said, the double world champions, England hoping to avoid total humiliation, hoping to get at least 1 win in this series, and that's gone for 4. Apparently their tactics unprepared for Australia. But it's a good start here from Jason Roy. And they're going to go for 2, and it's going to be close. But he's going to get there. That's 2 more for Roy. He remains on strike. And the second half of the first over beginning. I don't know why I point that out, but I do. Roy will send this one to the boundary as well. And it's an amazing start for England. Perhaps they will avoid that humiliation I was talking about. Australia have still retained the Ashes no matter what, but still a sense of pride in getting at least 1 win. Something they tried to do last week at Old Trafford, but were unfortunately humiliated. Like I said earlier, at one point they were 3 for 9, 3 wickets and 9 runs. They completely turned things around. It's only the first over. Here comes the final delivery from Hazelwood. It's going to go for none, but even with that, still an amazing over for England. 14 runs, no wickets. Good starts. Can they keep that momentum going? Joss Buttler will be on strike as he faces Mitchell Starc, the left-arm fast bowler. And they're way past the required run rate, which would be 9 to beat Australia here. 37 from 24 needed. Buttler will send it away and send it all the way to the boundary. On the very first delivery he faces, remember that entire first over was all Jason Roy. 33 from 23 needed now for England. An amazing showcase here. This will go for a single. Go right to the stumps, bypassing the bowler, but of course it doesn't matter. Jason Roy back on strike. Let's see what he can do. Just tips it off the edge of the bat there, and it's gone for 4 once again. And I'm not sure what changed, because if you go back and watch the Old Trafford match, you will see an abysmal performance from England, but this one goes all the way for 6. And somehow they've completely turned it around, as I said. England, none for 29. I don't think anyone was expecting them to win today. But they very well may end up doing so. This goes for 4 again. England 9 for 33, mirroring Australia's dominant performance in their innings. The number of runs needed is now lower than the number of balls remaining, 18 from 19. And this will just be a single, but it adds to the total. Every little bit helps. And the crowd going wild as the second over comes to an end. 34 runs off of 12 balls for England and no wickets. And Pat Cummins next in here for Australia, and he very well could be last in if they ended here. 17 from 18 needed. That would be 3 sixes, although that might be a bit optimistic. Fielder rolls through, throws it to the keeper. And now perhaps things starting to even out a bit. Roy on strike still. 29 runs for 11 balls. He's done most of the work here, although this will be caught. Australia take their first wicket, and Jason Roy leaves. And this could be the turning point in the match for England. 4 boundaries, 1 maximum. Dawid Malan coming in now for England. 17 from 16 needed. It still seems reasonable. It still seems as though it can be accomplished, but you never know. Butler, however, will be on strike to start, and it'll go for 4. This next delivery from Pat Cummins, the first score of the over. And 13 from 15 needed now for the English side. Although that number's going to come down once again. It's gone to the boundary once more. 9 from 14. And a complete turnaround here for England. End of the third over coming. Oh, this goes right to the keeper. Not as much excitement on that one as most of the deliveries have been here. But it is what it is. I'm not sure why I made that comment. Nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. Still 9 from 13 is incredible. This will go for a single, which means they only need 2 boundaries, and they'll have ended things here. Third over comes to its end. England 1 for 43 here at the Oval. Adam Zampa, the right arm wrist spin bowler, coming in now, number 88 for Australia. 2 overs remaining, 12 balls, way past the required run rate, and this will go for 4. And with that, it comes down to 4 from 11. And it very well could end here. Josh Butler will be caught. Absolutely no way Australia win today unless they can just keep taking wickets. And it's very unlikely, but you never know. Anything can happen, is what we say here on the network. Johnny Bear still coming in, a name that has been synonymous with this series. Dawid Malan alongside him. Neither man has faced a ball. 4 from 10 needed. Steps forward on this one, wound it up, and it goes for a single, which means Dawid Malan will be in the crease for the first time, or not in the crease, sorry, on strike for the first time. 3 from 9 needed. Second half of the third over begins, but I don't think they're going to need any more. This has gone for 4, and England defeat Australia. Australia win the series 4-1, but England leave with 1 victory to close things out. They can at least say that they did not get swept. There's the final scorecard. Australia 4 for 50, England 2 for 52. 2 runs, the win here, and 3 wickets. And I mentioned that this was the end of cricket for a while, but we will be coming back in October. I may have said November, I apologize, but we will be covering some of the Cricket World Cup from India later this fall. We'll be covering the first match, which is a rematch of the 2019 final between England and New Zealand. Match 5 will also cover between India and Australia. Match 10 will see Australia take on South Africa. Match 13, one of the most high-pressured rivalries in all of cricket. India taking on Pakistan. Match 18 sees Australia taking on Pakistan. Match 21 is India and New Zealand. Match 27 is Australia and New Zealand. Match 29, India and England. A lot of the same teams being in our coverage, but it is what it is. Match 32, New Zealand versus South Africa. Match 36, a match which we have seen today, England versus Australia, a rematch of the Ashes. Match 37, India versus South Africa. And that'll be it for the regular part of the tournament. Then we'll come back to cover the final, and obviously to be determined uh, what those two teams will be competing in that match. But thank you for watching our coverage of this Ashes 5-over tribute series, whatever you want to call it. Australia retained the Ashes 4-1, and that one for England coming today. Like I said, at least they can say they weren't swept. Good night, everyone, from the Oval in London.